Hello, our TV viewers, and welcome to a new edition of Body and Soul. In today's edition, we are going to talk about the 5 languages of love. What are the 5 languages of love, and what is the importance of love in our lives? To what extent love is playing an important role in the human being life? To what extent the different forms of love and the different languages of love are representing a real important thing in the individual's life. Researchers say unhappiness in marriage often has a simple root cause. People speak different love languages. To shed more light about the different love languages, we have the following report by Samah Sharif.
Dr. Gary Chapman, while working as a counselor for over 30 years, discovered 5 languages by which people convey their love. They are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. As for words of affirmation, for those who prefer the words of affirmation language, hearing love words and other compliments are what they value the most. Insults, in this case, cut deep into the hearts of these individuals. Quality time. This language is all about giving the other person your undivided attention. Distractions, postponed dates, or the failure to listen can be especially hurtful. Distractions, postponed dates, or the failure to listen can be especially hurtful to these individuals. Receiving gifts. Dr. Chapman says for some people, what makes them feel most loved is to receive a tangible gift. This does not necessarily mean the person is materialistic, but a meaningful or thoughtful present is what makes them feel appreciated. Acts of service. For these people, actions speak louder than words. Lending a helping hand shows you really care. People who thrive on this language do not deal well with broken promises or perceived laziness, and have very little tolerance for people who make them work more. Physical touch. To this person, nothing speaks more deeply than appropriate touch. It makes them feel safe and loved. Any instance of physical abuse is a total deal breaker. And Dr. Chapman does not think these love languages only apply to romantic relationships either. They apply to friends, children, and goes along appreciation in the workplace. They can pretty much be applied to any type of relationship.
Welcome back, our TV viewers. As we have promised at the beginning of the show, that today we are going to talk about the 5 languages of love. What are the 5 languages of love, and to what extent love is representing a very important element in our lives? That would be our topic for discussion for today with our dear guest in the studio, Mr. Sharif Al-Tahan. He is a self-development researcher. Hello, Mr. Sharif.
Hello, Hamis. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Mr. Sharif, before we start discussing the 5 languages of love, to what extent the importance of love in our lives is representing a real element that we are depending on to have a healthy and good life?
Okay. Simply, we cannot live without breathing. In order to breathe, you need air, you need oxygen.
Indeed.
This is love also. It's an essential component in our life.
Indeed.
You are doing something because you love it. You are preventing or avoiding something because you don't love it. So love, it's in the main formula in our life. And what we call love also, it's in another word, it's called passion. So you are passionate about something, this means that you are loving it.
Indeed.
So love, it's something that we cannot live without it, and it's part of our lives.
Okay. To what extent the expression of love is important, to express that we do love the other person, we do love our kids, we do love our partners, we do love our job, is representing an important that we should express that?
Everybody needs to be recognized and to take care of them. imagine yourself that you are doing a great job, not only in your personal life, but also in your work. And nobody is saying any good affirmations. Nobody is recognizing your efforts. Nobody is encouraging or supporting you with some words. Even in our daily lives, when you are doing something good at home, especially ladies.
We need appreciation.
Yeah, certainly. Wow, thank you so much. When I'm telling you thank you, even thank you, small thank you, this means that I'm recognizing the effort behind what you made.
Indeed.
So we cannot live without encouragement. And if people stops to encourage or to say good words, I'm sure that there will be a lot of problems and conflicts between each other.
Mr. Sharif, according to observations, the 5 languages of love were listed as words of affirmation, as you have kindly mentioned,
Yes.
quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and also physical expressions.
Yeah.
Why specifically those 5 languages of love were chosen or
This is a
were
good
seen
question.
as 5 languages of love?
Because they are addressing the 6 senses. Okay, we have the physical touch. This is the sense of touching. Okay, and we have the ear, the eye, the sight. So we are expressing all sort of love in a different languages.
Indeed.
In order, because like in NLP, for example, they are classifying people into 3 categories: auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. So some people, they are observing and they are getting the love through touching, like the kinesthetic. Somebody, when you are saying something, they are audio. They like to hear the encouragement and the good words.
Yeah.
So the 5 languages, they are consisting of all the senses that we are living with. Of course, it will be great to make a balance between those 5. However, you have 1 dominant or 2 dominant love of languages in your life.
Yeah. Which are the most common languages of love which are practiced by the people, from your point of view, of course?
Well, it varies also from different countries and different communities. For example, the Egyptians, here in the community, we adore very much the words, the affirmations. There is something say that I don't need money, but I need a word of affirmation. It's really very simple here with Egyptians to tell them thank you, I'm sorry, I didn't want to hurt you. So this really makes a big difference with them. The second thing, which is common with ladies, of course,
gifts.
it's the gifts. Yes.
Of course.
And the gifts also, it varies. There is an Arabic movie, there was a scene where Hind Sabri was asking her husband, I need flowers, Ibrahim. And عايزة ورد يا Ibrahim.
It's very famous scene.
Yeah. So he was having a different language. That he, from his point of view, that it's important to feed my family. So he was returning back home at night with food.
Yep.
So she's telling him, please take care of my love language and bring me flowers from time to time.
That would bring me, Mr. Sharif, to ask, the Egyptian or the Oriental man, does he represent actually, or he expresses his love in the proper way which we are expecting? Because as you have kindly mentioned, the man did return home with food, for example. He is trying to feed his family, to maybe to make his wife doesn't work much to prepare the food, for example, but she wants flour.
Yes.
She wants to feel a lady. So what are the conflicts here in that scene, as you said?
It's like an Egyptian traveling to China. They are speaking Egyptians or Arabic, and the Chinese, they are speaking Chinese. So they will have no any communication method. This is the same. There is the conflict and the misunderstanding that nobody cares to understand or to know more about the love language of their partners. And really, as you mentioned, the Oriental men, they are having
Maybe practical, more practical
and service. Getting you to the club and getting the children out of school to home. So this means really that they need to dig deeper to understand their love languages.
Can we say that somehow the pressures of life, the pressures of love and the obligation that many males are, and females of course, are under, are preventing them from expressing their care for the other, or their emotional affection, the romantic side, for example, or we do lack that point in our lives without the point of stress, because in the West as well, they do have the same pressures, they do have the same obligations, and yet they are expressing their emotions.
Certainly, Mahesti, you have a point here, and the community, the Western community also, it's not that idealistic.
Of course.
Yes, and just that we need to think that by showing my love doesn't mean that I need a lot of money.
Yeah. Maybe buy one flower.
One flower, or it could be just a word.
A phone call, maybe.
It could be just a hug. You know that sometimes ladies or wives or men, they need just not to talk, just to have an eye contact where I'm showing you my love and care, telling you that thank you for doing this or that.
Thank you for being there, for being supportive, for
certainly, and really, it doesn't take you a lot of time to do it. Just be genuine and do care about your partner. Even in the workplace, it's very important to show your employees that you really care about them. It's not just that they are employees, they are human beings.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Chapman, who discovered the 5 love languages, says they apply pretty much to any type of relationship, family, friends, children. How do you explain that?
I will give you an example. In most of the companies now, they are trying to make Employee of the Month. They are celebrating birthdays. They are giving bonuses or extra money. Why they are doing this? They are doing
incentives.
Incentives. Why they are doing it? This is some sort of showing love and care and appreciation to the employees. So even now in the workplace or at home or anywhere with your friends, it's very important really to show that to the other party that you really care about them, that you are noticing their importance in your lives. So with your children, it's important to hug them, to tell them that I love you. You know, this is something really, sometimes we forgot to tell somebody that I love you. It's not a shame.
Why do we forget that, Mr. Sharif?
Sometimes because we have like wrong traditions.
Yeah.
Maybe
weakness. If I'm showing that, maybe it's a sign of weakness.
Of course, yes, I do agree with you.
A wrong perception.
In certain families, they bringing up their children, especially men. Do not show your expression of love.
Do not cry, you are a man.
Do not cry, and this is really a fatal mistake.
Yeah.
We are human beings. We need to cry. We need to shout. We need to smile. We need to express our needs.
Indeed.
So really, we need to love.
Is it important to know what love language suits who, in which condition?
Okay. The simplest way to understand or to know the love language of anyone is to ask them. It's a direct message. Okay?
Do you think so? Because part of knowing you as my partner, as my father, as my daughter, as in any relationship, I should be aware. If I'm in love with you, I should be aware of what suits you more. Sometimes
you don't have that skill. Sometimes, as you said, that we are brought up in a different ways. So in order not to mistaken what really the other party needs or your partner needs, they ask them, what makes you happy? What makes you satisfied? What shows you my love? Is it something that I can gift or words? And by the way, I agree with you that observation also, it's another type
of care, of showing care.
Of showing care, that we are with each other for a long time as a friends, and I know that when you are having gifts, you are flying from happiness. So I can do it. So either in a direct message, direct contact, or either in observation.
How early does a person develop his or her love language?
According also to the class they are brought up with, sometimes it depends regarding the education, the social status, the understanding of parents. And this is a really critical thing. How parents, they are observing things and they are asking their children or to pay attention in order to show love to people whom we really care about. So it depends. Sometimes you can discover that your love language is something when you are 30s. And so it's time now to educate ourselves and our partners and our children that there are 5 languages of love.
Indeed, and to shed more light on that topic, we are delighted to have with us over the phone Dr. Ines Al-Gazzar. She's a professor of neurolinguistics. Dr. Ines.
Hello, Mahesti, how are you?
Hello, how are you? Dr. Ines, can you tell us about how do you see the importance of these 5 languages of love?
Well, this is a very good question because the 5 languages are very important to express your feelings to the other the way that suits the other.
Indeed.
Whether this other is your partner in life, your friend, your colleague, your daughter, your son, your brother, your father, mother, cousins, whoever, whatever the relationship is. Because I think you discussed that there are 5 languages. So you can do some tests other than observation, how does it suit the other. You can do some tests. It's applicable on the internet or by going to some specialists to know what's the most dominant type that suits your personality, whether it's the love words, the body languages, your eye contact with the other, which makes him feel that he's loved and secured with you in the relationship. Whether it's gifts, money, or acts of services. It has to be not always, to be always felt and observed. So it's not going to be turned from a thing that is translation or expression of love into a habit.
Yes.
When it's a habit, it loses its meaning.
Dr. Ines, to what extent the person could benefit from the languages of love in order to gain the appreciation and the love of the person that he does care for?
I cannot understand. Get your question. Please do it again.
How can we express that? How can we use these 5 languages of love in order to gain the sympathy and the love and appreciation of the other person?
Okay, first of all, we have to understand for any balanced relationship, it must be receiving and sending mutually. So I may send something that suits you if it suits you to be to listen or to hear some love words that you love, like I love you, I feel happy with you, I appreciate your presence in my life, and perhaps this is not the way I want to get the love from you. I may want to get from you some gifts, some eye contact, some touchings as hugging or something like that. It doesn't mean that I am materialistic and you're not, or I'm better than you or you are better than me. No, it's based only on that we are different in everything. God created us very differently to know and to communicate.
And we do have different needs and different priorities in life.
Of course.
Dr. Ines, to what extent the person should be aware of the most important language of love for his spouse or for the person that he or she loves?
Okay. If I'm going to buy a vehicle, a car, or a machine, whatever it is, a laptop or a mobile, to get the full benefit from using this device, I need to read its catalog.
Indeed.
Or the album. So how does it relate in relationships? If you want to get the full happiness and satisfaction from this relationship, you need to read the partner in this relationship. You need to satisfy his needs.
To pay time and attention.
Yeah, first of the priorities, it's for you to achieve your happiness, to achieve your satisfaction. And if this happens, it will be achieved in the other hand, making a mutual relationship in the direction of achieving the full happiness and satisfaction from any relationship.
Dr.
It's
Ines,
giving and getting. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Dr. Ines Gazar, our professor of neurolinguistics, thank you very much for your input. And back to our dear guest in the studio. What circumstances help to formulate each person's preferable love languages?
As we said, we are different, and that's why the diversity is very important. Circumstances that, especially, first of all, it's family, and then the workplace, and then the surroundings from family and acquaintances. So if family is having a high value of saying words of affirmations, so this will build your primary love of language of words.
Yes.
If it's the opposite or another component, you will find it different.
That would bring me, since we are talking, Mr. Sharif, about the word of affirmations and to what extent they are important for certain people. The person who is mostly attached to the hearing of good words, of words of appreciation, of words of value, to what extent that person could be hurt and feels rejected by any negative words or insults, to what extent that could cut deep into his heart?
Some people, they are so sensitive to the extent that you need to think deeply before you talk to them or you give them a feedback. So that's why sometimes when we are doing a performance review for our employees, we need to pay attention to what we are saying to them. We need to get them to address the actions, not the character themselves. We are not accusing them of doing certain things. So when we know and when we discover that your love language is words, so pay attention to what you are saying to the other person, because really it could hurt them
and it
very
could
deeply.
spoil or damage a relationship.
Certainly, certainly. So it's a double-edged weapon. I can catch you with one word and I can lose you with one word.
Yes, indeed. What about the quality time? I do believe that it's a very important language of love, because we as humans, we do need to feel the care.
Yes.
We do need to feel the existence of the partner or the parent or the child in our lives. So to what extent the quality time that we should pay to each other is important, because unfortunately I do believe on the personal level that we have started to lose that quality time that we do spend together. I can express my love with you through a text message, even in holidays or even in feasts.
Yes.
We do only send a greeting message over the phone with no care to spend time with our loved ones anymore. So how can we try to preserve the quality time that we can spend together, because we might be aware of the importance of that quality time after it's too late?
I tell you that the modern life, with a lot of technologies, with a lot of mobile phones and everything, really the family bond of the human beings gatherings, it has been really missed.
Indeed.
Especially that in the Egyptian society we were having Friday, it's the family gathering.
It was a sacred day for the family. And it was a sacred day for the extended family, not only the father and mother and the children or even the grandchildren.
Yes.
It was for the extended family, the cousin, the nieces, but it's not anymore the case.
And also with neighbors. It's time now to really to wake up and to know that the quality time, it doesn't mean that I'm physically with you. No, I'm physically,
and
mentally, emotionally with you.
Because we might go out together,
yes,
as family, as friends even, and if we are in a cafe, in a restaurant or in a club, each one is chatting on his mobile or her mobile phones. We do not talk, we do not communicate, and at the end, we are together physically.
Yes. It happened once when we were gathering as friends, and we found that like we are 6 or 7, everyone is holding his mobile phones, and I found one of my friends, he told us, So why we didn't make a conference call? Everybody to get read out of his mobile and let's be together. So really, we need to be together again, as you said, emotionally, mentally,
physically,
physically. I need to have an eye contact with you, telling you that I'm here. And maybe for
and the love language is very important.
It's totally important. We cannot live without it.
I do believe that the eye is the mirror of the soul. So
Certainly. And I do, the caller, Dr. Ines, she said something that really very nice, that it's a mutual benefit, that it's a sender and giver. So don't expect that you are just want to receive without giving.
It would end in a very negative way because the person who is sending, he will stop sending one day if he's not receiving.
Stop
because
being
we are
selfish
human beings.
And try to love also yourself.
Indeed, Mr. Sharif Al-Tahan, our self-development researcher, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. And with that, our dear viewers, we come to the end of this edition of Body and Soul. Hope you have enjoyed it. Until we meet again, I'm Mahis Rabia, signing off.